Welcome back. Today's video is called Destroying Compliance Tests Part 1. So what I want to go over today is I want to go over why women actually give men compliance tests. Why do women do that? Now, first I should probably explain to you what a compliance test is, just to kind of refresh your memory. A compliance test is an act or a statement that women or men both will do, or anyone really will do this, will give a demand, something that they want someone to do, usually if it's directed at you, usually if it is directed at you, you're the victim of this. So if they give some kind of demand to you, and if you give in to that demand and you sort of give them what they want, they've gained control over the situation. Gained control over, essentially, over the conversation, over the interaction, and sometimes even over you. So what I want to do is women, whenever women give you compliance tests, essentially they don't really want you to fail these compliance tests. They want you to win these compliance tests, but it's what they use in order to figure out whether or not you are actually a confident guy. So they'll ask you to do all sorts of things for them and hope that you do not do them. This is a very interesting concept. I don't know why we've never evolved beyond this concept, this idea, because the truth is that it's not very effective. It's not an effective way of deciding whether or not a man is an attractive guy or a confident guy. But either way, it's something that women still do, and the very attractive woman will do it more, you'll find. Now, why is it that women have to sort of give these compliance tests, try to make men do these things, whenever they could just look at a guy and go, well, that guy's attractive, I want to talk to him? Well, the truth is, women can't do that. We can do that as men. As men, this is one of our superpowers, one of our abilities, one of the graces that we have, is that we're allowed to and we're able to look at a woman and go, you know, she's hot, and I'm attracted to her because she's hot. It doesn't really matter. The rest of the stuff isn't that big of a deal for us, not until later on in the relationship, of course. But for women, it's not like that. For women, they need to know other things about you besides the fact that you're hot in order to hook up with you. Especially the very, very attractive women. Now, why is this? Because very, very attractive women get hit on all of the time. If you do the math, a woman walks out who's really hot, she probably gets hit on 10, 15 times a day. I mean, 10, 15 times a day. Let's say it's 10 times a day. That means every week she gets hit on 70 times. And actually, 10 times a day is lenient. If she doesn't go out very often, that's probably what she's getting hit on, maybe 10 times a day. But if she's out somewhere and maybe she goes to work or something, she's getting hit on at least 10 times a day. That's 3,650 times a year that this woman is hit on. And that's really, really lenient way of explaining this. That's like really, really generous saying that, okay, well, it's probably more like 30,000 times that really, really hot women are hit on a year. So if a woman's hit on over and over and over again over the years since she's been 17 years old, 3,000 times, over 3,000 times a year by different guys, don't you think she's noticed that guys all say the same thing? I mean, of course she's noticed that. She noticed that every guy who's not confident says the same thing and acts a certain way. Every guy who is says a certain thing and acts a certain way. And one of the best ways to tell is to test them, to figure out which one they are. Because there are times in which guys can fake it. So what do? They give you two types of tests. One is a compliance test, where they ask you to do something for them, and one is a congruence test, where they almost insult you in order to see if you're truly confident. Now, the compliance test is really a test to see whether or not they're going to be able to get away with whatever they want. Now, why do they want to test this? Why do they want to find out whether or not they can get away with whatever they want? Well, they want to find out whether or not you're used to women hitting on you, beautiful women hitting on you, or whether or not you're used to being with beautiful women. This is a very, very crucial concept. If you are used to being with beautiful women, you will not bend over backwards for a beautiful woman just because she wants to do something, just because she wants something. Instead, you will respond in a way that says, no, I'm not doing that, or a way that sort of puts the compliance back on her. Now, in a future video, when I teach you how to actually destroy compliance tests, I'm going to teach you techniques that you can use, several techniques that you can use in order to bypass these compliance tests from women, in order to really attract the really, truly choice, beautiful women that you want in your life. These women are guaranteed They're guaranteed to give you compliance tests, and if you fail the compliance test, you are guaranteed to not attract them. So it's very crucial that you learn this. The main point from this video right now is I want to show you why women actually give you compliance tests in the first place, how to recognize those compliance tests, and later on in the video I will show you exactly what to do about those compliance tests that will get you out of them every time. But for now, let's go a little bit into how you can tell a woman is actually giving you a compliance test. Now, in the most subtle ways, women will test you. Now, they are not consciously aware this is a test at all. In fact, if you ask a woman about this, she may think you're crazy. But if you get her in a state where you're not attracted to each other and you're just being friends, and you ask her, maybe you have a friend that is a girl that you can ask that you're not interested in, ask her if she does this, especially if she's very attractive, then you will notice that they are aware to some extent that what they're doing. One very classic compliance test is buy me a drink. That's a very classic compliance test. Women go for the throat here when they're in a bar because they don't have a whole lot of time to figure out who is attractive and who's confident and who's not. How you respond to buy me a drink is very crucial when you're in a bar. But there are also little things like, why don't you wait here while I go to the bathroom? There's also, give me a kiss on the cheek. Even that. Will you take our picture for us? Anything that's little, it seems kind of harmless, is typically a compliance test, especially if it's from a really beautiful woman. Now, you don't want to deny the compliance test. What you want to do is take control over it and add your own terms. For example, and I'll get into this again, like I said, in the second part of this series for this question, but for example, if someone says, take our pictures, and then you would say, a lot of guys, if they're afraid of complying, they would say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not that guy. Someone here will do that for you. But I don't really suggest doing that. I suggest saying, okay, I will, but I want you to take one picture for you and one picture however I ask you to take it. So if they refuse to do this, then just go, all right, we'll find some other guy. You actually find some other guy to take the camera and say, hey man, will you take their picture? And then just have them take their picture. But if they do, and usually they will say, okay, fine. You take the picture and then you go, okay, now I want you to give me a sexy look. All right, take their picture. Okay, now make a silly face, take their picture. And just make them do a bunch of things. Essentially what you're doing now is you are getting compliance from them. This is crucial. This is called flipping the script, and you will hear a lot about this. Flipping the script is one of the most powerful things that you can do to a woman that you don't know, and it will create a massive amount of intrigue and a massive amount of attraction that will be built. So for now, know and recognize when a woman is giving you a compliance test. Don't stop and don't reject the compliance test. You can still give into it for now until you really figure out and understand, hey, look, I can see them making me comply all the time, and whenever you see that when you're out, then I want you to, obviously you'll have another video by then that will teach you how to deal with it. So look forward to that video in the future. You'll probably get in a couple weeks here. But until then, start to notice all the little compliance tests that you're getting from women. As you notice them, make a post here in this video. Let me know what you think. I'll respond back and tell you what I would do. I'll also tell you whether or not what you're seeing is truly a compliance test and help you out through that process. Thanks so much for today, and I'll see you in a couple of days.